So they are VVIPs. They are not VIPs. Oh, is it? VV. Yes, please come in. So an overview of second language acquisition and research. So in our previous class, that was the first section. We had been talking several issues. In this class, that would be the extension of that overview of SLA, that is the second language acquisition. And second language acquisition will be varied learner to learner. Why such kind of variation will be occurred, we will try to point in today's class. Individual learners difference. You are sitting over here, approximately 30 students or 35 students, okay? You are getting language data from the same teachers, but your cognitive power, your power of understanding might be different from others. We will try to pinpoint that individual learner differences, and then also you will be talking about that the role of the input learner processes, the role of formal instruction, and the framework of investigating SLA. So individual learner difference, okay. So in every person, we have a same capacity of brain. It means human brain is most powerful. But in terms of achieving second language data, the researchers say that learner accept language data not in a similar percentage. You are getting same data from the same teacher. You are watching same movie, that is the linguistic data, but you are accepting the language data not in a same percentage. That might vary from learner to learner. Why such kind of variation occurs? It is probably accurate to say that no two learners learn L2 in exactly the same way. Someone understands music, someone understands movies, someone understands the reading materials. It may vary. It is the variation of materials. But what is the learner's individual difference? And as we have said that individual learner's difference may be different on the basis of some points. What are the points? Age. It is assumed that the adult learners learn language quickly and efficiently. Why? Because we think that they have the large memory of brain, okay, and they have some capacity to understand things very quickly in comparison to children. Okay.
So children are like automatic.
Yes. Sheshe likhe da, no? Yes. So the adult learners and the children who will be getting more linguistic data. Adult learners will have the large capacity of brain, so it is assumed that adult learners will learn quickly. But in comparison to children, it is not proved that adult learners will learn very quickly. So on the basis of age, on the basis of aptitude, and on the basis of cognitive style, and also the motivation and the personality, the individual learners is different from other learners. And adult learners have a greater memory capacity and are also able to focus more easily on the purely formal features of a language. It is assumed. However, this difference need not lead to difference in the route through which learners pass. That means what we have said, that is, adult learners can learn quickly and the children cannot learn quickly. Okay. But every language follow a route. In our previous class, we have said that there is a route language development. So every language is learned through following a specific route. If the language is learned through the specific route, then it will not be the difference for the learners, children and the adult. And however, on the basis of other phenomena, that is aptitude, general ability, cognitive style and the motivation and the personality, the language learning data might be different to adult and children. In which way? That means the second one, aptitude, general ability of learning language is equal for all. That means you have the same capacity of brain and the children will have the same capacity of brain. But if you are many students will understand a thing quickly, they are the extrovert student, you can say. They will be asking questions, what's this? They want to understand their the language in their own way. But in case of other students, they might have introvert. They will not understand a thing easily. It is for the basis of their aptitude and attitude. Attitude means the students, one may learn a thing within 1 week, and another will take 1 month. So if you say that any students, if you say that yes, if he can learn things, of course I will also be able to learn things. It is his attitude. That means I will learn that language. So why language learning is different from learner to learner? It is also for the basis of their attitude, in which way he will be taking that language learning journey. If he takes that journey that yes, I will learn it, then he can utilize his aptitude, that means the general ability, more quickly. And that is very quite similar to the personality. Personality, that means you are motivated enough. Yes. And motivation, that would be two kinds of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. We have talked about that. Intrinsic motivation, that means you are motivated without any monetary benefit, and you are motivated for your promotions. That means you have to learn a language. If you are motivated, then your attitude will help you that yes, I have to learn the language. So if you are motivated, either it may be intrinsically or either it may be extrinsically. If you are motivated, then your language learning will be easy. Out of the 30 students or learner in this class, if many of you think that yes, I have to learn it and I am motivated, so if he or she is motivated, then his language learning will be effective and quick and efficient. And if anybody will say, okay, actually my parents want that I will be doing a degree, I have come here to do the degree, so that is his motivation. So motivation play a vital role in language learning, especially the second language learning. Either it may be intrinsic or either it may be extrinsic. Motivation will be there, that will play a vital role in second language learning. And cognitive and cognitive style we have talked. That means the understanding level, that would be different from learner to learner. Okay, and also the cognitive level, if we think that there is a general ability attributed to every learners, And if it is equal to every learner, then why the learners will learn differently? It is based on attitude. So if your attitude is positive, then you will try to take the challenge. If you are your attitude is negative, then means many persons say that, oh, আমার দ্বারা এসব হবে না, এরকম। So if it is less motivated, then your language learning will be you will not try as well. And that stage is called fossilization. That means you will stop trying to learn a new thing. It is not only learning for language, it is learning the other things as well. That means you are motivated, you will be a quick learner. You are not motivated, your general ability, that means aptitude will not help to you to learn language. So that is the individual learner difference. That means language learning may vary to learner on the basis of age, cognitive style, aptitude and personality and motivation. Whatever may be the scenario, you have to be motivated. Second thing is that the role of input. Input, what is input? In case of computer technology, we have learned that input, there are some input device. What are the input device? That is keyboard, speaker, mouse. These are the input devices. And what are the output device? Monitor. In case of language, what is input? The definition is that input is the linguistic data. Okay. So if there is a language learning, of course there will be a linguistic data, and data will play an important role in second language acquisition. What is the linguistic data? That listening,
language learning,
reading,
watching videos,
listening song in target language. Okay. And also in target language there is a jigsaw learning, which is word plays a game. এটাও হচ্ছে একটা linguistic data. Okay. যেভাবে আপনি ভাষাটা শেখেন সেই সমস্ত ডেটাগুলোই that can be called input. So input is the language data which the learner is exposed to. So data is there and the learners are ready to accept that data. So that linguistic data you have to expect. And in case of second language learning, of course there should be an input. In which way you will be getting the language data, it doesn't matter, but input, of course there should be input. And it is commonly acknowledged that the second language acquisition to take place, there must be two prerequisites. What are they? L2 input available to the learners and a set of internal mechanism to account for how L2 data are processed. First time you have to have language data, and after getting the data, actually Noam Chomsky, he has said that in every human's brain there is a part that is called LAD, language acquisition device. And where does it exist? According to Chomsky, somewhere in the brain. He didn't mention in which portion it is there, but somewhere in the brain there is a left part. Some other psychologists left part accept the data, and after accepting the data, that will be processed in human brain, and then output will be there. So after getting language data, Ashraful, after getting language data, it will process in human brain. But without data, what will be? That means in SLA, there should be a language data, and after getting the language data formally or informally, the data will be processed in human brain and the output will be that means the language production. There are two kinds of language input. That is the formal input and the informal input. Formal input, where it is happening? Formal input, that is attending classes. That is the formal. That means formal instruction. That means in classroom or in somewhere else you are getting the language data. Okay, and that the teacher is delivering lecture in the target language, so you are getting language data in a formal way, in a formal setting, that in classroom. And informal setting, that means you are watching speeches in target language or video lectures in target language. You are making conversation with the foreigner who is supposed to speak in target language. You are visiting the target language country. You are visiting a person who is supposed to speak in SLA. So input is of two kinds. One, formal input and informal input. Formal input is in classroom, that is the formal instruction, and the informal input, that is done by talking to a foreigner, by watching movies in target language, by listening song in target language. So these are the informal input. So whatever may be, it may be formal or may be informal. After getting the input, the data will be processed and the language will be produced. So, and for this reason, the role of input in case of SLA is very important. And learner's process. Learners need to shift the input after getting the process. You have to shift the receive and relate to their existing knowledge. How do they do this? There are two possible explanations. They may use general cognitive strategies. Okay, you are getting language data. Everybody, how you will process that data, it depends on you. According to the researcher, they said that there are two ways. That is the general cognitive strategies, that means cognitive style, that means the style or the capacity of understanding to learners. So general cognitive strategies, which are part of their procedural knowledge and which are used in their forms of learning. You can use your cognitive style, and how you will be exercising your cognitive style, it's up to you. Suppose if language data, that means a conversation is practiced in the class, and how you will stimulate your cognitive style. After getting the language data, many teachers will say that yes, do drill. Drill means, that means one kind of word, pronunciation of one kind of word, or one kind of conversation is done again and again. So it is the learner process. The learner process, what did he do? That he will pronounce or he will tell the sentence loud in 100 times. So if two of the learners, if two of you take it, that is, yeah, we will practice this conversation how many times? 100 times. So this is your process, that means the learner process. And after getting practiced this conversation 100 times, that will get a print in your brain, and the brain will process the data. It is your process. Some other learners, they think that yes, I will write the conversation 100 times. Okay? But I will write the conversation. So some learners will process the data by practicing or by drilling, and some learners will say yes, I will practice in writing. So one time writing is equal to 10 times reading. Okay, so it is this process. how his cognitive strategy is followed. In case of the first group, they have taken drill as their cognitive process, and the second group, they have taken that they will write the language data, that means the conversation or the dialogue, in 100 times. This is their cognitive strategies, that how they will understand or how they will process the data. So after getting the data, they will process based on their own style, that is the cognitive strategies. One learner will follow one set of cognitive styles, another learners will follow the other set of cognitive styles. Okay. So the cognitive strategies will be implied by the, and the way the learners, the strategies are often referred to as learner strategies. Learner strategies.
So it process like a learner strategies for this.
Yes. If you take the drill, it is your cognitive style, strategies. Okay. If anybody can writing drill, this is his style. But whatever the style, one learner will not follow the specific style. 100 learner will be following the 100 styles. Whatever style the learner will follow, that is called learner strategies. Learner strategies. And learner strategies is important for the learner's process. After getting language data, the learner will process the data through learner's styles. When they will be following a specific style, their language data will be processed with the help of their brain, and fine language will be produced.
The second way that is
Which one?
second way that is style, cognitive style.
Cognitive style, learner process. So it is cognitive style. And then alternatively, they may process a specific linguistic faculty that enables them to operate on the input data in order to discover the L2 roles in maximally efficient ways. And this linguistic faculty is referred to universal grammar. Second one, first cognitive style, that means the cognitive process will be following by learners. Any study, writing or drill or repetition or anything else. That is one process. You can exercise your cognitive ability. Second one, that in every human being there is a sort of grammar, that means that is called universal grammar. The second strategy that I haven't said it earlier, that is you can practice, again Chomsky has said that every human brain is structured with some general ability of grammar, and that grammar ability is called universal grammar. Second style, you can process the data, that means the grammatical portion. The linguistic faculty, that means you can exercise the grammatical portion of the language, because you have that ability, especially when you will memorize. That is you will be, memorization will not have any creativity. Okay. So you will, and it is called cramming. Without understanding, you will memorize a thing. But universal grammar, that means if you understand a thing based on the grammar of a specific language, and this grammar-based learning, that means if you try to improve the grammar of a specific language, that is called this. You are utilizing your universal grammar. That means UG of every human brain. You can also practice that human faculty in your learner's strategies. Okay. So repetition, drill, and also you can practice the universal grammar. And this is the universal grammar. According to universal grammar is defined as a system of categories and mechanism or constraints shared by all human languages and considered to be innate. Innate, that means it is inborn. Universal grammar refers to a grammar which is genetically endowed to all human beings. So how, in which way you will go, it's up to you. But there should be a process. In order to understand language data, you have to follow a strategy. What strategy will follow? It will varied from learners to learners. You will go for exercising the UG, that means the universal grammar, or you will go for drill, or you will go for writing practice, or you will go for reading, but you have to process the data in your own style. That is called learner strategies, and through the learner strategies, language data is processed, and you will be producing the fine language. TESOL distinguishes three sets of learner strategies. What are they? Learning strategies, যেটা আমরা একটু আগে বললাম, that means you can practice drill, you can practice writing, you can practice reading, you can practice listening, whatever may be your strategy. That is the learning styles, production strategies, and communication strategies. So learner process is of three kinds: how you will process the data, how you will practice the data, and how you will communicate your learning. The learner process, that is the learning strategies. These are the means by which the learner process the input in order to develop linguistic knowledge. Okay, so learner strategies can be conscious and behavioral, that is memorization, repetition with the purpose of remembering. They can be subconscious and psycho-linguistics, that is inferencing or overgeneralization. Here we have got a term. What is overgeneralization or inference? We are in learner's strategies. Learner strategies includes repetition, drill, remembering, and something else. But here there is a process, that is, suppose a learner gets a language data. They goes to market. He goes to market. He has learned this. He goes to market. And after getting that idea, that is, go will be added with es. And after getting this idea, the learner tries to generalize this language in other language. Okay. And they say that they goes to market. He has understood that yes, he goes, if it becomes he goes, then they can also become they goes. That is, after getting language data, the learner generalizes one set of role in the other applications. That is called overgeneralization. So, what is overgeneralization? The act or the process of reading, reaching conclusion about something, about known facts. What is the known fact? He knows that he goes to school. He naturally go will be added with es. It is his known facts, and try to make the similar usage in other field. Then he tried to make a conclusion or opinion is based on the known facts. Inference is the technique of finding answers from clues and from prior knowledge rather than directly. Learners listen to a discussion between two identified scholar and must infer their relationship from what they hear. Okay, so this is overgeneralization. So why such kind of overgeneralization happens in case of the learners? Overgeneralization is the phenomenon when one overextends one role to cover instances to which the role doesn't apply. He has got one kind of idea and tried to apply this idea in every usage. Excuse me, could you please put off the phone? Yeah. What is the necessity? I have sent you this slide. I have already sent it. Did you check it? Yeah. Okay, at the ending portion of this class, please provide your written address. I will be sending the class and giving details all to you. Okay? Pass the attendance sheet, Ashabul. Yeah. Okay, so this is overgeneralization. After getting, okay. Actually, in this semester, I didn't develop any Google form. Who were in the first semester, their email address are with me, so I have sent the reading materials in that email, in those email addresses. So those who haven't provided their email address, please give that to me. I will be sending you the reading material. So overgeneralization, we are in that stage, that is the learner strategies. Learning strategies will be repetition, drill, memorization, like that. But in case of the drill and the repetition, you can utilize your UG, that means the universal grammar portion. The second option of learner process, that is the production strategies. How you will be produced. Whenever you will be memorizing, subconsciously you will remember that language data. It is your style. Somebody's style is different. Okay. If he or no, not slip of tongue. Overgeneralization is especially getting one known fact. A learner tries to put it in other fields as well. That is, and he or she makes mistake. That is overgeneralization. Second one is production strategies. Inference, the same fact. Actually, the example was there. Suppose একটা স্পিচ আপনি শুনলেন, সেখান থেকে আইডিয়া করতে বলা হয় যে তার রিলেশনশিপটা কি। ওকে, দ্যাট মিনস ইনফারেন্স অ্যান্ড রিলেশন ওভার জেনারেলাইজেশন সেম মোটামুটি, বাট কিছু কিছু জায়গায় যে যেমন সেকেন্ড ওয়ান সাথে লিসনার লিসেন টু আ ডিসকাশন বিটুইন টু আনআইডেন্টিফাইড স্পিকার অ্যান্ড মাস্ট ইনফার দেয়ার রিলেশনশিপ ফ্রম হোয়াট দে হিয়ার। হ্যাঁ, ইনফারেন্স অ্যান্ড ওভার জেনারেলাইজেশন সেম মোটামুটি। Production strategies. This involves learners' attempt to use the L2. You have got language data, that is input. How you will be producing? One of my known friends, he start the way at the university life. He started talking English to everyone, with the shopkeeper, with the rickshaw puller, with friends, with junior, with senior, whatever may be, and whoever may become will be coming in front of him. He started speaking English. Okay, it is his production strategies. He has taken that. Yes, many of you may actually what we do, when we are in the second year, we have said that yes, we will form a debate platform. There we will be debating, but our version will be English debating. Okay, so we have learned English language. How we will produce that is the debate competition. We will be debating in English language. That is my production strategy. Many of you, you can select your speaking partner. You can say that yes, whenever we will be within the campus, always we will try to speak in English. That means within the campus, we will speak in English. This is your speaking partner. So what it is? It is your production strategy. You know language. What we are teaching over there, what I am delivering, these are the common frame or structure of English. But what is the problem? Problem is that I feel shy to speak before it. And naturally, everybody will feel shy. It is very common. If anybody says that yes, I don't feel shy, that shouldn't be quite correct. Okay, everybody will feel shy. But that shyness will be overcome by this production strategies. In which way you will be applying the production strategies. Okay, some other may think that yes, I feel shy to speak in front of audience. Okay, you can say that yeah, as long as we will be talking to each other, we will be speaking in English. আপনি যদি সামনাসামনি কথা বলতে লজ্জা পান, তাহলে আপনি কি বলবেন? আমি বললেন যে ফোনে যখন আমি কথা বলবো তখন কি বলবো? it is your production strategies. In case of learner courses, also production strategies play a vital role. What will be your style, it's up to you. But that should be to produce the language data effectively and correctly and accurately. That is the production strategies. And communication strategies?
The same.
Just like the similar, quite similar, but like production strategies, these are the strategies are to use rather than the learning. Okay. And although they can contribute indirectly to learning by helping the learners to obtain more input, communication strategies consist of learners' attempt to communicate meanings from which they lack the requisite linguistic knowledge. So communication with whom you will be communicate, in which way? Okay, suppose there will be a program in your family, okay, and you will be inviting the guest. So writing that letter or making phone call is a one sort of communication. যদি এটা ম্যারেজ সেরিমনি হয় তাহলে তার ভাষাটা অন্যরকম হবে, যদি এটা বার্থডে হয় তার ভাষাটা অন্যরকম হবে, যদি এটা ডেথ অ্যানিভার্সারি হয় তার ভাষাটা অন্যরকম হবে। So communication strategies will be depending on context. In which context, which you will say, what you will say. That is the communicative strategies. You can say that yes, in first world countries they call someone with their first name. তারা টিচারদের তাদের ফার্স্ট নেম ধরে ডাকে। Yes. যদি তাই হয়, কিন্তু সেটা যদি আপনি বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহার করেন সেটা ডিফারেন্ট। ওকে, রবার্ট উইলিয়ামস, they will, hi Robert, how are you? Robert may be his professor, but in case of Bangladesh you can say, hi Salam, how are you? Okay, so in which context what you will say, it will be dependent on the communicative strategies or communication strategies. Okay. One of my days when I was applying for university students, ব্যাংকে গিয়ে বললাম, মামা একটা ফর্ম দেন তো। বলল, আমি আপনার কোন কালের মামা? দ্যাট মিনস এখন তাহলে আমি তাকে কি বলবো? আমি যদি তাকে বলি ভাই, তাহলে সেটাও তার পছন্দ না। তাহলে you have to understand the communicative strategies. If you go to Russia, everywhere you will see mama, mamur beta. But in case of আবার অনেকেই আবার বলে যে স্যার, বাংলাদেশি কালচারে যদি বলে যে স্যার, ও সবাই অনেক খুশি হয়। কিন্তু আবার ইউরোপিয়ান কালচারে যদি আপনি বলেন যে স্যার, মে আই হেল্প ইউ, যাকেই বলেন না কেন বাংলাদেশি হলে তার মন একদম। But in European countries, they are not happy if you call them sir.
Sir is a title. It needs to be achieved.
Yeah. No, actually their culture they don't say sir. এটা there is the knighthood এর মধ্যে একটা sir আছে টাইটেল আছে। এজন্য তারা sir বলাটাকে তাদের কালচারে যায় না। So in which way what you will speak, that is your strategy. That means the learner strategy. That is called communication strategy. Whom you will be calling sir, whom will be calling mama, and whom will be calling uncle. হ্যাঁ, করা যেতে পারে। Yes, context.
So ওই তো বুঝি না স্যার, for which they lack the requisite linguistic knowledge. এটা কি বলছেন?
Attempts to communicate meanings for which they lack the requisite. Requisite means ওই যে যদি আপনি যেমন আমি যাকে মামা বলেছিলাম, তার মানে ওই কোয়েশ্চনে যে আমি তাকে মামা বলতে পারি না, এই জ্ঞানটা আমার ছিল না। ওকে, দ্যাট মিনস ইন ফর্মাল ওকেশন ইউ ক্যান সে হ্যালো অর হ্যালো স্যার। বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে বলতে পারেন হ্যালো স্যার, তার মানে তাকে আমি মামাও বলতে পারি না, ভাইও বলতে পারি না। তাহলে আমাকে কি বলতে হবে? যদি তার এখানে নাম থাকে তাকে বলতে হবে হ্যালো, অথবা যেমন আপনি কিছুই জানেন না, তার সে কি হি না সি কিছুই জানেন না, তখন আপনি কি করবেন? সেখানে আপনি লিখলেন হ্যালো স্যার, আপনি একজন ইমেল করছেন একজন এমডির কাছে, হ্যালো স্যার দিয়ে মেনশন করলেন, আপনি জানেন না যে উনি কি স্যার না ম্যাডাম, ঠিক আছে? তো সেক্ষেত্রে এই জায়গাগুলো থেকে যদি আপনি বলেন যে ডিয়ার কনসার্ন, তাহলে কি হয়ে গেল? উনি স্যার হোক, ম্যাডাম হোক, আর হাইনেস হোক, আর কিং হোক, আর কুইন হোক, এটার জন্য কি হয়ে গেল? উনি আর বলতে পারবেন না যে হচ্ছে যে আমাকে আই ডোন্ট ডিসরেসপেক্ট মি মিসপুটিং মাই জেন্ডার। আমাদের বাংলা ক্লাসে কলেজে সব সময় দেখা গেল যে এক ম্যাডামকে সবাই ইয়েস স্যার, আই ম্যাডাম খুব খেপে যেতেন, ঠিক আছে? তো যদি আপনি সেই জায়গায়, এবং এই জন্য অনেকে আবার ওখানে স্ট্র্যাটেজি ফলো করে, মানে ইয়েস স্যার বলতে বলতে তো আমাদের অভ্যস্ত, বাট কারণ বাংলাদেশে হচ্ছে অধিকাংশ জায়গায় হচ্ছে কি এখন একটু বাড়ছে, আগে তো ফিমেল টিচার তত ছিল না, এই জন্য আমরা ইয়েস স্যার বলতে বলতে অভ্যস্ত, ঠিক আছে? কিছু কিছু স্টুডেন্ট তারা এই যখন সমস্যা হলো তখন তারা, কারণ ইয়েস স্যারই চলে আসে মুখে, ঠিক আছে, তখন তারা প্র্যাকটিস করলো যে তারা বলবে যে ইয়েস শুধু বলবে। রোল নম্বর 15 ইয়েস, মানে স্যার বলতে গিয়ে আর ওই জায়গাটা কি বলে নেই, কারণ স্যার বললে কি হয়ে যাচ্ছে, হয় স্যার হয়ে যাচ্ছে ম্যাডামের জায়গায়। ওকে, সো দ্যাট ইজ দেয়ার lack of understanding. That means he has to understand the actual greeting and actual way of communication, what should be addressed to a person you are talking to. That is lack of communications. Okay, that is the communication strategies. These are will be involved in learners process. So in the learner process, these three strategies can be applied to process your language data. And here surface structure and also deep structure, you know the process. That means Chomsky has said this, that is in case of universal grammar, every language will be following a specific pattern, that is surface structure and deep structure. So how it is related to learner process? So you can understand the surface structure and deep structure. If you understand the deep structure, you can make so many sentences following the surface, following the deep structure. Suppose subject plus verb plus object. So it is the deep structure. Following the structure, you can write 1000 sentences. So if you understand the deep structure, then you can make so many sentences following the structure. And for your kind information, in English language, there are two kinds of sentences. Sentence based on structure, three categories, that is simple, complex and structure. And according to compound. And according to meaning, there are 5 kinds of sentences. But all kinds of sentences in English, there are 9 basic structures. And if you follow this 9 basic structure, if you can understand that this 9 basic structure, you can make tens of thousands sentences following that 9 basic structure. So it is also included in your learner's process, how you will process the language data, that is the input. So input is important, and in the same way the learner process is important, in which way you will be processing the language data. So studying surface structure and deep structure is also a way of language process by the specific learners. Got the point? Okay, so that is the here the formal instruction. আমরা একটু বলেছি যে means the input can be done in 2 different ways, that is the formal instruction and informal instruction. Okay, so we will not be lengthening the formal instruction, you know, that is in the class. The few studies of the effect of the formal instruction on the development route suggest that the natural route cannot be changed. So formal instruction, which one? There is a formal instruction, that is the classroom teaching. An informal instruction, that is friendly gossiping in target language. Okay, writing emails in target language. These are the formal instruction. Which one is the best? depends on individuality, but the researchers say that doesn't matter. You can get formal instruction and you can get informal instruction. Actually, if you develop the root, root means surface structure and deep structure. That means if you developmental root suggests that the natural root cannot be changed. Your strategy may be changed. The strategy, that means in the classroom what I am talking is using the same structure, the same sentences. And in case of the formal instruction, welcome. I have said that, thank you. You say welcome. What does it mean? Welcome is not a sentence. But actually you wanted to say that is you are welcome. So what is the form it is? You are welcome. What voice it is? It is passive voice. So if you know this teenage, that means if you are in a position, if you are welcome, passive voice.
Then it would have to you are welcome.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Yeah. But you are welcome. R এর পরে following হবে ing.
If this passive then verb.
Passive হলে স্যার ভার্বের পার্ট ফর্মটা হবে। আর যদি স্যার অ্যাক্টিভ হয় তাহলে ing হবে।
You are welcome is quite similar sentence like I'm a student.
Yeah. Yes.
Then it's active.
Yes. এটা হতে পারে, but you are welcome. Welcome is passive form কি? Welcome. Is it Arisha?
Yes.
Yes. Adjective form, সেটাও হতে পারে, তাহলে দুটো হতে পারে। Okay, but our concern is that এটা আপনাকে জানতে হবে। If you understand that is the sentence you have used, in this regard formal instruction and informal instruction doesn't vary. Many of you say that the formal instruction is important. Many of you may say that informal instruction. But if you know the natural root of a language, then any kind of instruction will be helpful for language learning and especially the second language acquisition.
So is there any standard root?
Standard root, that means every sentence will be following the surface structure and the deep structure. And other model, that means the phonemes, and also the syntax and also the lexis, that is the morphology. So these are the general rules. All are attributed to every kind of languages. Okay, so that's it about the formal instruction. Okay, so here we are in a position that is we have considered so many issues in case of second language acquisition phenomena. We have talked about individual learners' difference in case of second language learning. We have learned that age, attitude, personality and motivation play a vital role in case of second language acquisition. Whether maybe, especially age play a vital role. If you are 60 years of age and you say that age doesn't matter, okay, many of you may say that means, I am 60 years old, so it doesn't matter to me, I will learn that. But still, whenever, actually the football player, what is their general age of the football player? They are playing at Chelsea and other football. Naturally, 24, 26. Okay, so if age doesn't matter, age will also show, will focus you how much ability you will produce. So, always we can say that yes, age doesn't matter in case of learning language, but itself it is a matter. Okay, so a man of 60 years old, here his or her ability will be less in comparison to the ability of a 25 years old learners. Okay, so age and your physical strength will also help you to boost up your motivation. Okay, if you are motivated, then your aptitude, that means your general ability, your cognitive power is automatically linked and they will be inspired to achieve the language. So that is the individual learners difference. So age of course play a role. So age, personality, motivation play the vital role in case of second language learning. And after the age, personality, motivation, and then we have talked about the input. Input is important. Input is two kinds, that is the formal input in the classroom and informal input. But whatever may be the input is very important in case of learning second language. And after getting input, then you have to process the data. In which way? Following the learner's strategy. And what are the strategies? That is the learning strategies, production strategies and communication strategies. Here you see that is the framework posits a number of interrelated factors. Situational factors, input, learner differences, learner processes, and linguistic output. So following role of first language, learner process, input, output, everything will be interrelated, and basically second language learning phenomena will be dependent on these three situations. That is the situational factors. Which situation you are learning? Suppose one learner can learn language when he or she will be less stressed. If you are stressful, that means if I am not able to get 3.5, I can apply for scholarship. If it is your scenario, then you will be stressed. So the same learner will be learning language effectively if he or she is less stressed. And the same learners, he will not learn the achieved goal if he or she is stressed. So language learning, of course, based on situation, in which situation you are learning. If is your target that it's my target that I will be getting 3 in ME. So you are relaxed, okay. Then it depends on your situation, okay. How you will be a orator. In every courses you have presentation, isn't it? So if you want to be a good presenter, what you have to do? If you are motivated, then you will practice the presentation before the final presentation 10 to 15 times, standing before the mirror. And if it is so, then your learnings will be good. So every learning, especially the second learning or the second language learning, is based on situation. In which situation you are motivated and in which way you are applying your general ability, that means aptitude. And the input we have talked about that. Learners differences, age, aptitude, learner processes. After getting linguistic data, how you will be process the data, it's up to you. And linguistic output, that means the communicative strategies. So finer input cannot make the best language learner. Input has a role, but it's up to you based on this learner process, strategies, and the others. So that is in case of second language acquisition phenomena. And if you have any questions, the floor is open to you. You can make this question now.
Sir, in our company, the charges, what the charges